Welcome, this is Russ Moody, and it's an extension. This will be a series of spin-offs on the Once and Future Orc King, and this battle I have is 2,500 points, and there's no war boss in this list, and I'm trying out my Arachnarok Spider. So, also with that, playing against a Skaven player, this list of his is hard as nails. It's just, it's not, the uber power build with twin help it abominations, but what he's got here is what I would call a Skaven twin tower list, and it's very effective and very tough to beat, especially since this battle we rolled up, it was a battle for the pass. And then if you've seen some of my previous battle reports, I struggle a little bit on this mission, and I think I'm gonna have to play it a couple times because what ends up happening is I've designed this army with these two large horde units in it, and in battle for the pass, make it I end up without room to maneuver, and so I've either got to figure out maybe send one in front of the other, or I don't know, just play it a couple times to get it so I can make this scenario work for my army, or figure out what I need to do in this scenario with my army, as it just becomes uh anyway. I haven't won this battle, this mission yet with my orcs, and so this list also some changes to get down to 2,500. So there's no war boss, and then took out all the artillery, the war machines, and I've got two single trolls. So I'll just go right to my deployment first, and you'll see uh, there in the background is a hill that's actually Anvil of Vol, and then there's my 40 black orcs, and then a single troll, and next to that is 50 biggins with a level 4 shaman who is the general, and then the BSB is in the corner of that unit. Next to that is another troll. Then you can see in the background next to a river is the giant spider, the Arachnarok. And next picture, this shows pretty much the rest of my army. You see the boar boys starting out in the river, and then with the night goblins also in the river, and the wolf riders who have yet to make a vanguard move. This is his list, and you'll see right here, this is my right flank, his left, and in the river he's got, I think it would turn out to be a river of blood. Anyway, it didn't hurt his units at all. And that's a plague furnace with, I guess it's 24, I think is all 24 plague monks. Maybe there's a back rank, so maybe it's like 28, something like that. Uh, and then you see the Hell Pit Abomination and a unit of rat ogres. And next to that is 30 storm vermin. And then going over the rest, he's got the weapon team in the woods, and then a bell being pushed by just a ton. If I had taken a better look at this unit, I probably would have rethought some things. But it looks like he's got there's probably close to 40 clan rats there pushing that bell. And that's the whole list. That's 2,500 points. He's got like 4 or 5 Skaven units is all. And then sorry, it's hard to see in this picture. He's also got a warp lightning cannon up on that hill. But yeah, he's only got 4 or 5 units, and yeah. So right here, my wolf riders vanguard across the river, and that's where they end up. And I believe I got the first turn. Yeah. So my goblins end up walking in that river, as it's a raging torrent. So I didn't want additional dangerous terrain tests. And then the spider moves like that to use the building to screen some of its movement, but the warp lightning cannon's gonna get a shot off. But I wasn't too worried about that. And then the boar boys slide directly over, and they've got the banner of eternal flame. So again, that's the part of the problem with this mission, is that normally those boar boys would have been placed pretty much last, and they would have been on the far right flank, right across from the Dumo. I had more deployments than him, so I got to choose where they went down, but there was nowhere to stick my boar boys. Ideally, they would have been somewhere where I could use them against them. So, as you see, again, I forgot my camera, so these pictures are going to be much lower quality. These were all taken on my phone, and it doesn't have the auto adjust. So if I move my camera, if I move my phone too fast, I'm taking a picture. That's why you have. But anyway, the both of my units march forward, and there's where the Wolf Riders end up with their 18-inch move. And then I use this picture is God, terrible. I should have double checked the quality on these. But yeah, that's Hand of Gork to move that unit right there. And then as you can see, if you look at it, you'll see the corner of a unit that you can't quite see. That is his Plague Monks. And if you look at it, when I did this, I just kind of eyeballed it and thought, oh, all right, good, I'm fine, right where I'm at. And only those two units can engage. But what I should have done, and if you're in a tournament situation, definitely do this all the time. I mean, you're going to drive your opponent nuts, but take your line of sight checker and check and see exactly what his units can see. Because as it is, those Plague Monks can see that last guy, and so he's going to get to flank charge me. Anyway, all right. So his turn one, Skaven turn one, and that's what he does. He charges with everyone, and those Plague Monks barely had line of sight and got to go in on the flank of my unit. And I was like, I wasn't that concerned, except for it just totally messed up my battle plan. Because as I had everything set up with use my additional drops. I had the exact matchups I wanted. I had this unit right across from my Black Orcs, because that furnace is going to last not even a round against the Black Orcs. They'll just take it down in one round. And so I was planning on using them against the furnace. And with him being able to get that flank charge, now the furnace is inaccessible to my Black Orcs. And so that just, from deployment, I'm going, yes, I've got all the matchups I want. I should win this game hands down. And this is what ends up happening. So, thank goodness I did have the foresight. I cast Ere We Go and Hand of Gork. So this unit, or no, wait, in the center of the battlefield there is, yeah, anyway, they have rerolls to hit. But also, I forgot to mention, in the center of this battlefield is a Tower of Blood, so they're also frenzied. So that's going to play in. And then my level 4 has the Crown of Command, so they're not going anywhere. He casts some spells and does some shooting and reduces my Wolf Riders so they look like that. And this again, he hits my, I believe, a Plague Mortar, bounces off my guys, and anyway, it hits that and kills some of them. Kills some Nightgums. They managed to, they actually weren't forced to take a panic check. And then this right here, what you can't see is that it's really blurry, but my unit won combat, actually. I just did, God, so many wounds. Anyway, and his Rat Ogres and his Storm Vermin end up fleeing, so the BSB dies. And I'm thinking, I've now got this battle exactly where I want. Anyway. Alright, so moving on to Skaven turn 2. And you'll see what I decide to do. This picture is my Ragnarok. It charges right on in at that unit of Plague Clan Rats pushing the Screaming Bell. And my thought here was that I'll use either my Ragnarok to go in there and assassinate that Gracier, or just eat the unit and just keep them there until I can clear up the rest of the battlefield, was my thought. And then you can see the Wolf Riders have charged in to take out that Warp Lightning Cannon. And again, this right here, and my unit has reformed to face the Plague Furnace and to try and finish off that unit. And I think, and what happens here is he ends up issuing a challenge, and I accepted for some reason, and I'm not sure what my thinking was on that, but if you're ever in combat with the furnace, just decline the challenge and accept whatever the penalty is for doing that. Just, whatever guy he wants to send back there, just let him. My thinking was that I wanted to preserve my general, and and the other thing that influenced my decision is, you'll see what happened is with that River Troll, he was less than half an inch outside of my 12 inches from my general, and so I failed my stupidity test, and my river troll was then blocking my black orcs, so my black orcs couldn't charge in, which means that now they are not going to get to instead of fight the plague furnace like I wanted. And so now that my battle plan was thrown off, and then he issued a challenge, and I didn't know what to do because my battle plan had been thrown off. So I just accepted because I was thinking, oh great, I'm going to have to be in combat with this thing forever. So I figured I'll put my level 4 next to his plague priest, and they'll fight it out, and they'll fight there forever, and I'll preserve my general that way, was kind of my thinking, and preserve the unit. And you can see there's my boar boys move like that. And my thought was, again, with the troll, I decided to make the best of it, because I realized the help it was going to end up right there, kind of in that general area, and so they're preparing to charge in and take out the help it abomination. And so that's pretty much all that happens. Combat happens. I kill some things. I kill some of his furnace, that kind of thing, and then we'll just go right on into his turn. So Skaven turn 2, his help put charges my river troll. That's what you see right there. And then I also forgot to mention, you'll see I reformed my black orcs because that help put was coming at them, and I didn't want to lose combat and then let that thing run down 40 black orcs. So they're ranked up so that they can be steadfast for a while. Over here, he manages to rally all his guys, which I thought that was unfortunate, as he was doing it on a 7. So, and that was just because of the 18 inches. What ends up happening is the bell, he rings the bell, and now that was the Tower of Blood. The Tower of Blood has vanished. It crumbled, and then he crumbled the other building as well with that thing. So, yeah, and you see that river troll, I don't know why he's standing like he is. He just fell over, I guess. And right here you see this is the result of combat. I kill off the entire unit, and that furnace is still locked in combat with my level 4. And the Hell Pit has no trouble with that troll. And, well, I actually wouldn't say no trouble. That was a river troll, and he almost survived. I think that the reason he died was actually because he got the feed result. And if I had managed to roll 4 up, I would have lived. But as it was, he did enough wounds to eat my troll. So that explains why the Hell Pit has regeneration, because apparently you can eat a troll. And anyway, it runs right into the black orcs. And we'll go right on. Oh, and the reasons I'm not really mentioning his magic is it actually did pretty much nothing. I was able to pick the right spells to dispel, and then in this magic phase, his caster miscast and lost 3 levels. So his Gracier is now level 1 with Scorch. And Scorch can't be cast into hand-to-hand, so he really has no targets.